Master John Ned, and they call me Juanito in Mexico. And I've been traveling for 5 years, ever since the COVID hit Asheville, North Carolina in March of 2020. I went up to the deep mountains of Appalachia after 16 years of living in the hippie progressive haven of Asheville. And those mountains are full of mystery and full of tall tales and strange people, wonderful people. I discovered the Appalachian people were wonderful people, but there were some pretty strange ones. And I had a friend from Asheville. She and her father had written a book about Appalachia called Hermits of Appalachia, the Original Independence, or something like that. And what I came to realize, I'm a psychologist by background, that the difference between mystics and absolute crazy people is sometimes awful close. And one psychiatrist said that the distinction is the mystic knows that they're one with everything, that they're part of God, that they are God. The crazy person appropriates that to the ego and thinks, I personally am God. So some of the old guys in that woods, some of them I think were genuine mystics and some were cracked. And here's possibly the most cracked one I ever ran across. I was driving a camper van and would park. I love parking in out of the way places. And a friend had told me, he taught me how to drive past her house, and just maybe a mile past her house there was a pull-off. Well, I'm a stubborn man, and I obviously had gone too far and missed it. But I just kept going, and that road got narrower and narrower. Finally, I just had to turn around. And it was a 6,000-pound camper van, not used to driving such a big rig. And in the process of turning around, I ended up with one of I had only rear-wheel drive. One of those rear wheels was suspended over a creek. So I was done. And it was about midnight. And there was a big old barn across from me. And out of that barn comes a very old tractor and a very old man with the scraggliest beard I had ever seen. I said, oh boy, what are we in for here? And he comes by me and my chubby little chihuahua and says, who are you hunting? He did. He said, who are you hunting? I said, no, I'm not hunting anybody. I'm just trying to get out of here. And he says, well, they sure as hell are going to be hunting you. We're going to get you out of here. I said, oh, God. Hello. He says, let me go get my good tractor. So he was gone for half an hour. I thought he'd never come back. And he came back with a tractor that didn't look much different than the old one. It's certainly not a big industrial tractor. I said, you sure you can do this? He says, I drove a wrecker for 20 years. I know what I'm doing. And those wrecker drivers, they do know what they're doing. So he got me out. He had no trouble getting me out. And he told me where. He says, you go down that way, make a right. There's a pull-off there. You can spend the night there. So I did that. And in the morning, he looked in on me about 7 o'clock, and he opens the side door and climbs in. And he says to me, I don't know what your issue is. You're obviously very old, and maybe dementia, I'm not sure. But someday I'm going to be old too. Someday I'm going to be old too. So I got to give you some coaching about how to survive out here, all right? So I think he told me his name, but I'll never forget him. I will never forget that man. What a spooky night that was. And he meant no harm. He really just wanted to help me.